Hey guys, so today I'm doing a review on The Best of Me by Nicholas Sparks. I literally just got done reading it, and I think this is the best way to do a review, like right after you get done reading it, because everything is still fresh in your mind. Before I even start this review, I just want to say a few things about the book. This is a Nicholas Sparks book. It's your typical Nicholas Sparks book. If you don't like his writing, you're not going to like this book. But me personally, I absolutely love Nicholas Sparks as a writer. I always have. It kind of has a little bit of a sentimental value for me. Nicholas Sparks was actually one of the first authors that I really discovered and fell in love with. If you're not a sucker for the romance and all that kind of thing, this just isn't for you. But if you love like The Notebook and A Walk to Remember and that sort of thing, please read this because it was so good. It was so good. Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit about the story before I go on. This story is one of those books where it's told in the perspective of many different people, and there's a lot of stories kind of going on throughout the book, but of course they all connect in the end. So it's one of those kind of books, if you like stories or if you like books written like that, then this is one of those. One of the main characters in the book, the person whose perspective the story begins with, is a boy named Dawson, or a man, not a boy, he's a man. He's like in his 40s. He's pretty much on his own and has been for many, many years, and he has not dated since this relationship that he had when he was in high school. Dawson comes from a really, really rough family. His family name has a lot of bad things connected to it, and people just automatically expected the worst from him whenever he lived in the small town that he lived in growing up. His family was just really bad people, and they were just aggressive and violent and just really terrible people. So Dawson grew up in this family, but somehow he did not end up turning up like the rest of his family, and he was not a terrible person like they were. So a girl who was also living in the small town that Dawson was living in, named Amanda, she is the other main character in the book, or one of the other main characters, she recognized this about Dawson at an early age, and they ended up having this flourishing romance when they were in high school. And because of Dawson's family name, everyone turned their nose up at Amanda and Dawson's relationship, including Amanda's parents, and they just hated Dawson, hated everything about him, where he came from, and they did everything that they could to split the two up. So basically what happens, Amanda and Dawson's relationship ends up not working out, a lot of the reason having to do with the trials and tribulations that are brought onto their relationship by Amanda's parents. Eventually, Amanda moves away, and Dawson's kind of left lonely and heartbroken, really, and he ends up also moving away after a lot of terrible things happened to him in his hometown. Someone that both Amanda and Dawson were very close to when they lived in their hometown passes away, and so they both end up going back to their hometown, and yeah, I'm sure you can kind of see where the story goes from there. So I'm not going to talk too much more about the plot, but I will say that there's a lot of different things going on. And even though you may think this book would be fairly predictable, it's actually not that predictable. Some parts are, but a lot of crazy, unexpected things happen in this book. I honestly was just expecting this book to be a cute little love story, but it has so much more depth to that, as like every other Nicholas Sparks book, so I don't know why I ever doubted him. But yeah, this book is so good. I gave it 5 stars. My opinion may be a little biased because I absolutely have always loved Nicholas Sparks, so keep that in mind. But if you're like me and also love Nicholas Sparks and always have, you definitely will like this book. Just trust me, you will. So I don't want to talk too much about the characters just because there's not a lot to say. I liked all of them and they worked really, really well with the story. I liked Dawson a lot. I liked Amanda, and there's just so many other characters in the book. I cannot even go into all of them because this video would literally be like 30 minutes long if I tried to do that. So that's really all I want to say about this book. I mean, I don't want to give anything away. I never put spoilers in my reviews, so there's not too much else I can talk about. After I read this book, I was in tears, and I was so impacted by the story that after reading it for like 10 minutes straight, I was just weighed down by the story and still thinking about the story and what happened. But yeah, if you like books like that where you're truly impacted by them, then I just highly suggest this one. Anyways, that's it for this review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.